Yep. My credits are almost done, and then I'll do the recap. A vault sealed in time, a flame that refuses to die, and echoes of truth too ancient to forget. Beneath Mangagoy, the Whispervault stirred once more, guided by a key Tian never knew he actually carried. The party unlocked relics beneath centuries of silence, a dial that resonates with celestial patterns, a mirror that once captured forgotten flames, a vambrace forged to resist the echoes of the abyss. But knowledge bears weight. In the Observation Oculus, past and prophecy collided. Karnak saw the unholy rite of unnaming and the sigil-bound path towards Maelthaz, the chained seer. Hans witnessed the brutal death of his mentor and the figures behind it, each killer etched now in his memory. And Kothar. Kothar beheld the dawn of his own legend, a name given by a herald of Arion cast to burn away a tyrant's legacy. Then the final vision, the fall of Rah'tok, an exodus from light to shadow, a name erased, a people bound. And still, threats loom. The shattered remnants of Kelthorne's influence. The whisper of Maelthaz beneath Driftwood Bay. A medallion soaked in blood and legacy. The stars turn. The vault is open. And the flame is unquenched. And that brings us to session 11. And at the end of our last session, we ended with you guys leaving the vault, and you guys are heading to do your own stuff at night, and that's what we're going to get to before everybody meets in the morning. So the first one I've got is Batrock. You said that you were going to start helping around town. So if you could click, why do we have? Yeah, I got Hans saying that. Let's unselect Hans, and then I'm gonna put that macro out there. So Batrock, at the top, there is a earned income macro there for you with crafting. If you want to go ahead and click that, and I'll flavor it appropriately. Go ahead and give yourself 2 silver pieces. As the sun starts to set, you're walking the scorched alleys of Mangagoy, hands blackened not from war, but repair. Shattered glasses swept, hinges are reset. A child watches as you fix the rusted garden gate with a twist of wire and alchemical resin. Somewhere beneath the root-streaked boards and the rebalanced door frames, the city breathes easier. You weren't asked, you just did it. That is perhaps why it mattered. Later that evening, the scent of burnt steel and alchemical ash clings to the air around you. With each click of your tools, the chaos of the last days retreats behind method and repetition. Bottles hiss, powder settle. The Giselle gleams under careful oiling. Outside, the mist rolls low over Mangagoy's streets. But here in your own corner of the world, things obey your will. For now. And Karnak, you were going to help with the guards, so if you go ahead and click that.
See if we have any success here.
Oh, yes, you have success, so go ahead and give yourself a gold piece.
You like that?
Yes, and your boots splash through the shallow alley gutter, morning sun catching in your bronze pauldrons as you return to the guard barracks. They begun to nod at you now. See you as one of them. Order brought back, one shift at a time. As you kneel beside Lunaire in the courtyard garden, guiding her snout to sniff for a hidden treat, her eyes flick up. There's something. Someone watching. You know it without knowing why. And our next one on my list is Hans. You said you were going to go check out the bars in the Goals Way. So I've got 6 different buttons for you to click on. You may not need them all. So I'd like you to click on the one that says First Tavern.
It all I see is the ones that say hidden, and what do I notice?
You don't. Is there one to the left of? Let me see. Check that macro out because it shouldn't say hidden to you.
I'm assuming it's the top one you want me to do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It should actually give you a roll table. We did it right. Nope, that's not the one we want. For some reason, it's not showing you. You should see something that says First Macro. I am going to. If you go to the, do you see the rollable tables up at the top?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, there should be one in there, in the Mangagoy folder that says Pub Crawl. Can you see that yet? Probably.
I have Year of Unfettered Exploration.
So let me get to Hans. We're going to give you Observer. Let's try now.
Yeah, I see it now. Crawl. Right.
Yes, I would like you to click on, go ahead and drag that down to your macro bar really quick, because you're going to probably use it multiple times.
Alrighty.
And click on it once.
Okay.
And you are at the Siren's Mug. Go ahead and click on What Do I Notice that from the up above macros.
Okay.
So at the Siren's Pub, after spending some time there looking for the 3 individuals from the vision, don't notice any of them. The thing that strikes out the most, you hear a pair of dockhands overing over spilt ale and lost wages, but nobody seems to be paying you in any mind, or you don't recognize anybody from the vision with the first one. Go ahead and roll the pub crawl again. The Rusted Anchor. Go ahead and roll the, what do I notice? The tavern is loud enough to cover your questions, quiet enough to hear the wrong answers. Faces blur in smoke, but your hunting posture now coiled and cold. You spot her. Violet robes, ink on the hem. The second just a whisper away. You don't move. Not yet. The game is on, but only one of you know it started. You see the lady in violet. At the bar, you notice a couple other individuals. You don't recognize them from the dream. I need to actually click show for you. You don't notice them from the vision / dream that you saw. She's only in there for like 10 to 15 minutes. She seems to have amenable conversations with the people that she's sitting with. One looks to be lower class. One looks to be middle to upper class. She exits the bar, never looking in your direction, but you do notice her. You could feel it in your bones. What do you do?
I'll follow her at a distance.
Okay. I would like you to, when this roll comes up, I'd like you to select stealth.
Oh. It just rolled.
I rolled. There should be a button for you to click and then click stealth when it
Oh, okay. Stealth. Gotcha.
She's moved like she's been watched before, never fast, never direct. Past shuttered market stalls and beneath the rusted lantern chains, she slips through Goldsway's edge into the haze of the Ember Wharf. You stay a couple blocks back, close enough to track her, just far enough to remain smoke and shadow. And as she enters the Ember Wharf district, we're going to do one more of those checks.
All right. Stealth again?
Yeah, you're doing stealth again. She rounds the corner. Her footsteps stop, and then they begin again. She descends a crooked stairwell, tucked beneath a collapsed spice shop and an old cargo crane. As you peek your head around the corner, you see a half-rotted door, half sunken in silt and salt sludge, swinging open at her touch. No sign, just the smell of mildew and scorched vellum. Below, you see some torchlight flicker and disappear. It's like the ground just swallowed a hole through the door. Gonna continue following?
Not at this time.
Okay. We'll let you go to where you are sleeping at night. Kothar. When you go back to the church with the relics, the church is quieter than usual. Zareth is healed. Dust motes drift like lost prayers in the light. You set the relics before Sawillo. Each of them in the temple starts to imperceptibly almost hum faintly, like voices through a closed door. Her fingers trace the chalice's lead-lined edge as you speak of flames and visions. And in the shadow of the altar, you feel it again, that presence. The memory of an angel, the weight of a name spoken in the light. A spark. Waiting. Is there anything you want to talk specifically to Sawillo about?
I think he also wants to know from her what these artifacts are, their meanings, their history, what they can surmise. He probably will ask about a angelic figure to try and see if there's a known being matching the description. He won't explain what he saw, the vision of the angel and his mother and everything yet to her. I think he's just more trying to see if it's a known entity, like a named angelic figure in the scriptures or anything. And after all that, I think towards the end, probably as the evening comes to a close, he probably asks a question that's probably quite difficult. That when Kothar's mother left, when his birth mother left him in her care, did Sawillo ever consider trying to give him back to his people? Or, you know, if there was any, or I'd kind of just get an idea of what she felt in that moment, maybe. Because I think he's probably always assumed that, but seeing it through someone else's eyes is a whole sort of different scenario. And he probably takes him a little while to open up and explain fully what he's asking her at the end, because it's quite a difficult thing for the both of them, I imagine. But yeah.
So which relics do you have with you now? Because I believe the Vambrace was somebody put that on.
I've got the Vambrace.
Okay.
I think Hans, you said you were going to bring your item to the church, at least to have it looked at.
Right, to the church. The scroll, was it?
Yeah, the scroll case. You had the scroll case. I know Tian just went home with the ring. That's fine. Did Karnak and Batroc want to bring their items to the church to have them looked at, or not yet?
I hadn't had them.
Sorry.
I don't think I took anything. There
There
was 4
are-
items. Or was
You
there one
did.
for
You've got
everybody?
you've got the what was it? The vase.
Oh, that's right. I have the face. Yeah, I would definitely would have dropped that off.
Yeah.
Would definitely not
Yeah.
running around town with the face,
Yeah.
using it as a bludgeon.
Batroc, what about you and the
The
what was it? It
dial
was
thing.
the dial.
Yeah, he'll probably want to get it looked at and figure out what exactly it is. He figured out some
Okay.
of it, but not all of it.
I guess Effie in the mirror is more up to you. Obviously.
Okay. So pick which one you want to talk about first, and I'll just go down the list.
I think the Van Brace, the one that he's got, would be the one that probably asked about first.
So Sewillow tells you that yes, this has definitely been used by a champion or cleric of Arion in the past. She rubs her fingers over it. It has a feeling of age to it. It's ancient. Where did you come about this?
I'll explain. We found it in the vault, in the Whispervault vault.
Yes, this is definitely tied to Arion, and she tells you that she senses the same thing you guys did, that this Vambrace would
It's almost dormant.
It is dormant, but she has the sense, because there are when you bring it out, some of the residual interference from the lane line disturbance below the church in that previous morning
Altercation.
seems to suppress a little bit, and the humming that you imperceptibly heard, you could definitely tell some of it's coming from that Vambrace, as it is it is doing something associated with the ley lines, probably preventing some of the surges from affecting the area immediately near it. And the second object you desire?
I guess let's go with the vase. I'm most curious about that because it feels the most the strangest.
You pull that out of the sack, and as you bring it forward, you see her eyes go from question to intrigue, and she steps back and goes back to the main office areas in that church thing, and comes back shortly with a book. You can tell the book is old.
Not one I've read before.
It's one that you have skimmed through before. You know that it was written prior to the Rising. And she flips through the pages and reads a description, and then comes back. And I'm gonna click. She goes, this is I'm gonna go ahead and put that in chat. Control A, Control C. Oops, Control Z. Control C, I hit Control V and pasted something wrong. So, I believe this chalice, at one time is what held what was called Arion's unquenched flame. It was a protective ritual that when cast would maintain continuity within this chalice. It is old. It has been lost for centuries. This vault that you found these items in, this chalice amplifies the magic that's put within it. If it was used for evil purposes, it would also amplify the evil. She tells you about the chalice.
When you say amplify, to make it more powerful, more widespreading, or
both the strength of whatever is cast or held within it becomes stronger, as well as the range of effect would become wider. Consider it basically a magic amplifier. For the purposes, if you were to use it on, it's not used for like damaging type spells, but for aura type spells. If you guys were to use it as such, we're going to give you 1 level of heightening with it, plus 1 range increment farther distance. If you were to cast some sort of protective aura or something through it.
okay, how does casting something through it work? Is it like an extra action if you're holding it, or
you're just holding it? Consider that using that as the focus for whatever spell you're casting.
oh, and is there like a limit to its use, or
because of the divine nature of that artifact, I am going to say, unless it gets abused, I'm going to say no. There's a purpose for that artifact.
Okay. Interesting. And is it currently working? Or is it also like the gauntlet and that it needs to be awakened somehow?
You would have to try it, actually cast something in it, to see if it would work like that. She seems to believe that it is fully intact, and she is both hopeful and worried. Hopeful that, hey, we now have something that gives us some extra power, but worried if we were to lose this, that could cause issues.
Okay. I mean, I have a bless spell in the tank right now, and it's coming to the end of the day.
Yep.
I guess I could give that a go. So when you say, so it'd be heightened up an additional rank for spells which heighten from an aura. And when you say additional range increment, would that mean it would like double its range, or?
For that spell specifically, instead of giving a +1, I would give you a +2 bonus to attack rolls within the emanation. And the initial cast was a 15-foot emanation. I would let you start with 25 feet. And then continue, if you were to sustain it, go up by 15 feet each time after that.
Oh, that's...
So I'd let you start out with 25 and then go up by 15 for that particular spell. And that one, if you were to use that, would also give you a +2 status bonus. Now, again, that's while you're holding that object.
Does it take 2 hands to carry?
No, it's a single-handed item. So you'd have to probably either ditch your Morning Star or your shield.
Yeah, no, that's
type of thing, one or the other, in order to benefit from it. It's not like you cast it, put it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you have to keep holding it?
To keep it sustained, you have to keep holding it, yes.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Okay, that's quite good. That's very good. Okay. And then I guess next the scroll case.
Again, the scroll case has a wax seal of Arion on it. It does not appear to be as old as the Vambrace or the Chalice. She looks at you. Do you want me to open it?
Do you think it would be dangerous too? If it is a gift of Arion's, I can't see it doing harm to us, but
She,
again, you would know more than me.
You see her cast basically the equivalent of some sort of identify on it. Detect a combination of identify and detect magic. She does not sense anything weird about it. When she puts her thumb near the seal in order to break it, you hear her whisper a prayer to Arion. The wax seal glows faintly as she does that. And as she opens it, she starts to scan it. Wow. This is interesting. This is from millennia ago. As the paper inside the vellum looks almost like it was made yesterday. The ink is slightly faded on it, but it looks almost like brand new. This mentions the Brim Vaults, which you would know a little bit from ancient history. Was an underground sanctum constructed millennia ago, used to copy my notes and go Control V. This is something that you would know just from history lessons. The Brimwall was a fortified underground sanctum constructed during the late Time War, intended to house unstable relics, sealed vestiges, and volatile beacon fragments.
The Time War?
Yes. That was part of what you guys saw during your
like the bridges.
The bridges, yes.
Okay.
So that was centuries ago.
Okay.
Time frame. The ancient history that's very rarely kept up with. It does mention what it mentions, that there were 10 divine relics sealed for the ages. And that should go through chat. Please hit my enter key's not working sometimes. That there were 10 divine relics sealed for the ages. And the idea that you kind of get about that is that there are relics tied to 10 gods that were sealed in case some future peoples needed them for assistance in defeating evil and the such.
Okay.
It does not say where they were sealed, what the relics were. It just mentions that there were 10 divine relics sealed for the ages.
Oh, I see. That is interesting.
And that 1, 2. We got the dial.
Yep.
The dial, she takes it, and she actually invites anybody that's there over to the altar. She shows you on the altar. We're going to click here, and I'm going to click my religions tab. That's one, everything works so fast when I don't have OBS running, but when I do, it's just a mess, but that's okay. She shows you that some of the symbols on there, after, doing a further thing, there is the Pantheon of Light, which is called the Twin Radiance, is the worshipping of Arion and Lunara together. The symbol for the Twin Radiance is on the altar, and it is also on the dial. Not a specific symbol to Arion or Lunara, but the combined symbol that's to the group that worships both in there. The other symbols on there, she recognizes 2 out of the remaining 12 for a total of 13. These seem very similar to some constellations we see in the night sky. And as she mentions that, let me see, anybody there with survival? Party sheet.
Me.
Party skills. Kothar and Karnak. You recognize, as she points it out, it's the equivalent of what we would have on our planet as the stars to give you to the North Star and the Southern Cross. Stars used for navigation or finding your way at night. Constellations. The other ones are unrecognizable. So 10 out of the 12 are not currently recognizable. Other ones are used to pick the north in the sky and the south in the sky. This seems something to do with celestial alignments or something. I don't recognize these symbols. We'd have to probably research other archives to find anything about this.
I'm wondering if there's 10 unidentified, and there's also 10 divine relics sealed for the ages. Wonder if they have some kind of connection. Might be a way to find them.
That may be.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no clue, or I have no idea even where to look for these.
Well, more research will have to be done.
And the last item was a mirror, I believe.
Yeah, that's Effie has the mirror, but I don't know if.
Well, we'll say that Effie would have given it to you.
Yeah, fair enough.
She looks at it, and again, she goes, another relic from before the Rising. and again, it's in the book that had the information about the chalice in it. This was thought lost prior to the Abyssal incursion. It was believed to have been used during the Time Wars to help defend against time and memory-based attacks. And then the description I gave you, it says it's a handheld reflective plate once used by the Flamebound Order. He mentions that the engravings on it aren't the current markings that they use for the champions or clerics of Arion, but those used from the time of the Sundering. That bridge collapse time frame. The group used to be called the Flamebound Order. And with it, you can reveal memory echoes if aligned under a correct celestial convergence. So it helps to notice where time may be going wrong.
Okay. In terms of with these items at the moment, right now it looks like in terms of the scroll case contained that information.
Yep.
About this vault, but doesn't seem to have any other properties besides just those notes.
No, that's it. Basically there was a thing in the note just basically said we've sealed 10 divine relics for the ages, and the impression that she gets from the way the writing is worded and stuff in there, that this scroll case actually came from the Brim Vaults, and that vault was considered to have been collapsed centuries ago. So this thing is, one, how did it get out of the vault where people don't know where it's at? And two, it's talking about something that very ancient type of devices. There isn't any other information in there.
Okay. Gotcha.
And the dial, other than the uses we had to open stuff at the one place, we haven't been able to figure out how to use anything else from it.
There were symbols that were in the Oculus room that when you moved the dial to the symbol that was glowing, that's what triggered some of the visions. That's all you've used it for so far, and opening the door to the Oculus room that totally freaked the heck out of whoever was guiding you there.
Mm-hmm.
He had not seen that use in the past.
Sure. So
Or
at the moment,
Oculus room that can be used.
Yeah. So the moment, just to get an understanding, most of the items are more situational in terms of their use.
Yes.
But the Orion's unquenched flame can be used to enhance aura-based spells, and potentially the Vambrace, if exposed to a ley line, may reveal more potent properties.
Yes. What it appears is that everything that you found in there is from millennia ago. It's all old. Which begs the question of how did Ambervale get this stuff to put in the vault, as well as where did it come from, and why is it surfacing now? That's the overall hint that I would give for that.
Okay. So just Ambervale said that the whole reason for the Whispervault was an ancient pact with the Church of Orion, right?
Yes.
He said that. Okay. But he didn't know. But he was just. Was it him? Well, no. Was it an ancestor of him, like his family, that were given the keys?
Yes. It's family information.
Gotcha. Okay. So items put in the vault by the Church of Orion, their family trusted with guarding it using the ring.
And when you guys went to Ambervale's estate and he was injured, the gist of his conversation, he does not know how those agents had any idea that he is doing stuff, that he had the key. He was worried that Tian was being targeted. The other part about it is, the Ambervale family has been tasked through the ages of protecting those items. They seem to be tied to the Church of Orion.
And the ones targeting them was that glyph, the kind of glyph spellcaster, who did seem to have some potential connections with the Bleeding Tide. And then the Bleeding Tide, we know, have connections with that guy who's the follower of Orcus.
Yes.
Okay.
And the last thing on your stuff that we had for when you are talking to her, Sowillo, I'm sorry. She tells you that no, I never had any thoughts of taking you back to your kind. It's almost like when you were passed to me that I knew it was my job to teach you our ways and let you, it's hard to say, it's like help you find your purpose. It's like you were given to me so I could provide direction. That's how I felt. And the image that you described, I don't recognize specifically the image that you described of the the angelic being type of thing. Others have said that they've seen things that look like that when they have prayed heavily for divine guidance. I have yet to see an image of such. Did you see one?
I think so. I cannot be certain. The vaults showed many strange things. Memories, visions, things in between, things that may not be the truth at all. I cannot say for certain. Thank you.
Okay.
Mother, for guiding me. I think there is a grander purpose in store for me, but I would not have found it, and I would not have the strength to carry its burdens without your teachings. And I think he gives his mother a big hug.
Okay. And with that, we'll go to Tian at the Ambervale house. The house is dim. You have the smells of poultices and silence as you wring out the cloth again, tending to his wounds. Your father's breaths are slow but steady, each one a tether to the here and now, but something itches under your skin. Not fear, not guilt, expectation, the kind that follows you when prophecy touches your blood. Somewhere far above the rooftops, a black-winged bird circles once and does not cry. Is there anything specifically you want to ask Lord Ambervale?
Let's see. Father, we've been to the vault, like you said. Do you have any guidance on what we should look into next? I think you still know more than we do at this point.
We just need to protect the relics from anyone that wants to use them for evil, and protect ourselves. If you can learn anything about them, our family was told that they would be needed in the future, and our job was to protect them, and not let people know about them. The vaults. Go to the bottom here, go Control End, and Control V. I've been told the vault wasn't built to store, but it was built to bind, to isolate those fragments of divinity and memory that refused to die after the Time War. That they were pre-rising relics. They're not just artifacts. They're echoes of pacts of trust from before. With the events of today, it feels that the seals are weakening again. The beacons pulsing and shifting. I'm worried that the cycle begins again. Take what you need from here, but not more. Find those who still carry light in their bones and guard them fiercely. I've been told these relics will respond to will, not lineage. You and your friends must be the stewards. You are not heirs. The world is waking. Don't let it wake alone. I feel your efforts would be best aimed towards finding those that are bringing the evil into our current situations. Maybe figure out what Kelthorne is actually up to, or any of the other evil that has been on display. I feel now this is above what our house has been asked to do in the past. But with you, hopefully our house can still make it work into the future.
Right. I will tell that to my friends.
Okay, and any other questions before I get you guys meeting? And based off of what we had, we will be meeting in the velvet lantern again.
Yeah, the Tian was gonna make like extra sure that his father's okay.
He seems to be okay after, you know, you've helped him, you know, with the bandaging. He's got the full complement of guards around. The City Watch, as well as agents from the Ashen Vanguard, are actually protecting the house now. After the break-in and attack, he seems to be, as far as you can tell, would be okay. I mean, he was attacked, so he's gonna be a little out of it, but he is definitely not going to. He's not in any danger of dying or anything like that.
He's not going to die in his sleep.
Yeah.
This is probably
I mean,
true, but
you never know. Unless you kill him in your sleep to get your inheritance. Which
no. Tian would, you know, act all overprotective of him either way. At least for tonight.
Asking all his guards all their credentials.
maybe not like that, but you know, just like staying at home by his father's side for the rest of the night.
Would I be able to try something, Jim, before the end of the night?
Okay.
You mentioned that the Vambrace is still like humming and reacting to the ley line energy that we experienced kind of under the temple. Maybe asking Suillo to come with me. I'd like to maybe go back down to where we fought the creature before, where we felt that resonant energy, where that kind of binding seal was, and just see if it does anything to the Vambrace, or the Vambrace reacts at all anymore, getting closer to that kind of focal point.
Okay, I will say, as you go down there, it definitely does react to, especially where the crack in the wall was down there. It's like you can actually, as you get nearer, you feel it. It's not like it's like a soft vibration, but it's more like it's humming. But as you get near that actual crack, you could actually see the ley lines where they are still partially, the magic is still partially bleeding through. As you get nearer to it, the roughness of the cracks in that ley line area seem to smooth over a little bit, such that the magic is contained within the ley line nearer to you instead of just leaking out. Further investigation going to where that symbol was in that last room. Not only does the Vambrace vibrate, but you can feel vibration with that scar on your head as you get nearer to that binding sigil that's on the ground there. It's almost like you can sense the sigil as you get nearer to it. It's like Harry Potter and the scar, how he feels it when he reacts to Voldemort type of thing. That's the feel you get on your scar as you get nearer to that binding thing right now. You didn't feel it before during the battle.
The book by Miku, right?
Yeah, you didn't feel it before, but you feel it now.
Yeah, I think Kothar probably, once he starts to get that feeling, he like proceeds closer a bit, but as it probably maybe gets a bit too much, he kind of winces and kind of steps back and kind of shakes the kind of the gauntleted hand.
Anything else before I bring you guys together?
Does it sort of seem that from using it that rebinding that ley line seemed to be the extent of what the Vambrace could do, or
It actually
feel like there's maybe more to it?
It let you see the ley line.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, see and
it appears to be that it has some sort of properties within it that can contain wild magic, is the way I'll put it.
Okay. All right then. I think after that, Kothar would just thank his mother for keeping an eye on him while he did that, but then just go back to bed and probably would take the Vambrace off for the night and go to bed at the church without wearing it, keeping it somewhere locked down safely, of course, along with any of the other artifacts the party left in the church's possession for now.
Okay. And with that, I am going to get you guys to the Velvet Lantern. You get to your party sheet.
That'll be the next morning.
Yes, the next morning. So I do need you all to take a long rest and
Yeah. Do we have an idea? God, we don't really have an idea on what we're doing today, do we?
that's why you're at the
probably what we were like
See, that's
doing already with
that's
the
what
investigation.
yeah, that's what's gonna bring you there, and I'll let you guys kind of work that out.
Figure out what. Yeah, I guess. Would I be able to save doing my daily preparations until after that, so I get an idea of what spell choices are probably best, or
yes.
would I need to do them?
Nope.
Okay.
You can do your daily preparations once per day. You don't necessarily have to do them immediately after the long rest.
Gotcha. It just takes is it? I can't remember if it's 30 minutes or an hour for them technically.
We'll make whatever works work. We're gonna do that, and
It says usually takes around 1 hour. Gotcha. Okay.
Activate, and I need to actually change the light on this scene because it is now the morning. And I can actually start the clock now. What the heck?
Oh.
Everyone make sure to eat your rations.
I am getting a bunch of errors for some reason. Why is it telling me that I'm trying to modify the NPC core compendium? I'm not. That happened when I started the clock. So something is up with probably simple calendar.
Time is. We started another time war. Time's all messed up.
We've goofed time.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is it's that wonderful mid-transition between... Oops, that was the wrong one. The mid-transition between major versions of Foundry that things are starting to jack up. And I'm going to try it one more. It says something does not exist. I probably have something on sequencer. Nope. I'm just going to let the things go. You guys don't see them, and I don't see any issues on my end. You guys are in the Velvet Lantern. You have been here before. The hostess, Madame Cyril Vost, takes you back to one of the back rooms where you are able to discuss things in private. Your server for the day will be Vesa Marint. And I don't have a breakfast menu set in there, but the typical meats, eggs, porridges of those sorts, drinks are available if you desire them, but you're free to discuss your future as a party, what the party is going to be doing.
After the server leaves the room, Rock will say, Hans, the vision we were shown the other day, the 3 people, I've seen someone similar to one of them. It might be the same person, not sure. But they, as far as I know, they're might be a member of the Gilded Hammer Union, so can give you somewhere to look.
Which of the 3?
The one that has the stylized flame wrench tattoo. Got her right eye is grafted lens modulator.
So it would have been the first one that I described there, Hans.
Okay.
So
no, that's the second one. The first one was the one in the velvet, the
kind of crafting person.
violet robe. Yeah.
So
She's the one that looked like steampunk tinkerer.
I guess
All
one
right.
thing. Would you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just want to say thank you, Batroc. I may ask you to show me where you saw him at a later time.
it was someone passing by inside one of the Gilded Hammer.
Okay.
Gilded Hammer places. So
Yeah, and so I didn't tell you this, Batroc, but this was a couple years ago in your training.
oh, yeah. Okay.
That's why it took you thinking overnight to recognize it. It's just that little. I saw somebody maybe when I was training.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. So and I didn't really get a good look at them, but they seemed familiar to the one in the vision. So
Okay. Thank you.
Hans,
Yes.
what do you intend to do with them?
I seek justice.
Okay, well, never mind.
I think if Hans, what they did to your master, from what we saw from that vision, that was if you seek retribution against them, I don't think any of us can hold real issues with that. We saw that small bit of context, and you have obviously lived through the experience of losing your mentor. I think it's maybe a matter of us not wanting to see you come to harm or be impacted by what that search for justice means and what such a search for justice can turn into. But besides that, we will help how we can. But out of character question here, would you guys have wanted me to bring all the relics back to the people that left them at the church, or are you guys happy to have them stay at the church for now until we decide really what to do with them?
I don't need
don't-
the vase.
You keep it at a church, as far as for now.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think until we
unless
get a better.
it's unless it's something we can use.
The one chalice thing, I guess someone can, if they can use that, then someone can.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that yet because I think probably I think the one thing that I think Kothar would bring would be the Van Brace, just because that seems to be the thing that the ley line stuff is probably the most important thing right now because we've got a bunch of that stuff going haywire and this seems to help.
Mm.
So I think he's probably still wearing that, but I think the rest is maybe once we get a better idea of how and where we should use these things and where if they're best, because we don't know where we might be going. If it's within the city or outside it, we don't want to take them somewhere where we could lose them, or put them into vulnerable hands.
Right.
And I think if anywhere's going to be able to keep, other than the Whispervault, which we know is compromised, I think if anywhere's going to be able to keep them safe and guarded, besides us, it would be the Church of Orion here, the Silvilo and the Sun Warden. Though they did have the big attack in the basement, so maybe no, but who cares?
We're not exactly spoiled for choice.
Yeah, I think Kothar might surmise we have many leads, a lot going on, a lot of directions we could go. Frankly, it's to the point that I'm almost overwhelmed. I feel we need a concrete plan on what to tackle next, and to tie up as many loose ends as we can before we're stuck pulling at strings all the time and not seeing the bigger picture. Does that sound reasonable?
It does more than reasonable. It's just pulling it into a concrete set of actions.
Well, we do know of somebody we could investigate.
The noble house, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
They're our
I was
only
hoping.
lead
Sorry,
right
you were gonna
now.
say.
Did we give that bigger piece of evidence to the investigator guy in the end? Or
Don't think we have yet.
no, I don't. I think you're right. So
But we can meet up with him and see if he has found any new information, and then we can also share what we have with him.
And then if that all comes together to mean we could go get him, and we can.
We might have enough evidence to move on him if we're lucky.
Yeah, and we get to go break into a manor house. We get to be the ones breaking into someone's house and assaulting a noble. I'm like, we pull a reverse Tian's dead. And then, do we think that, because that's probably the most immediate and close by thing.
Because we don't have anything specific on the ley lines and.
Yeah, beyond that, we just know that we reckon that I'm forgetting how to pronounce his name at the moment, but the traitorous Lunara follower who became a follower of Orcus is trapped in that was it Driftwood Bay?
So in chat, I have provided you with what I currently have in my notes of what's hanging around besides just general messed up Mangangoi.
The warehouse transfer, was that the Bleeding Tide warehouse transfer?
Yep.
To us?
To you guys, yep.
What's the Driftwood
Oh, yeah.
Bat thing?
That's supposed to be Driftwood Bay. So you guys saw the same image of of Kaelor Thornhide getting his voice captured by Maelthaz. Misspelled that in there as I was typing it.
Maelthaz being the Lunara follower guy. And we reckon...
A long time ago, yep. The clues with the further watching the vision again in more detail than what was given at the cleansing ceremony, you seem to think that the ritual of unnaming happened somewhere near Driftwood Bay. That's so you think Maelthaz and or something to do with that ritual is actually located in Driftwood Bay. So that'd be something.
Yeah. Is there something in particular that points to that? Like, is it like we see it in a particular ruin that's known to be around there? Or...
Just the
ritual sort of
the ritual chamber itself, as well as when he was, we'll say that when Kaelor was going down there, Karnak, you would have recognized that general area from your previous traversals around the Isle of Mangagoy. It just wasn't visible during the cleansing ceremony. You can go sit down. I can talk to people.
How far from where we're at in Mangagoy to Driftwood Bay? Just like,
I believe I actually have the ruler working. It is 46 miles, so about 2.5 days. 2 days if you push it.
Oof.
Probably want to take care of Kelthorne.
I was gonna say, yeah, general instability in
first.
Mangagoy and
Then-
Kelthorne.
We also have the medallion from Hans we gotta follow up on.
Yeah, that can wait for now.
Forget what exactly we need to do with the
personal
medallion.
side quests. Personal side quests kick in at story opportune moments.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to complete more missions before that another one of those flashback missions happens. You know.
Right.
All right. So talk to the investigator, give him the information we have, see what he has, and see if we have enough to move on. If we need to investigate some more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think to me, best thing sounds like Kelthorne. The warehouse transfer, isn't that more happening in the background, in that we don't need to do anything? It's just we need to wait on the council to get it done.
Yeah, I have an actual time and day trigger for that to actually happen, but that is one outstanding thing in your
I think, yeah, in our calendar. I think Kelthorne, deal with that. Then after that, I think maybe travel to Driftwood Bay to see if we can follow up the lead on Maelthaz. Because I think we need to get a better idea on what the whole demon cults... Because it's clearly something to do with releasing these lieutenants, maybe. Whichever ones is uncertain. But I think if we can find this Maelthaz person, the person who betrayed the Church to Orcus, and we can find some vestiges of him or information he has, I think that would explain a lot more of that stuff.
We probably found a lot of information from Kelthorne too.
That too. But I imagine that's going to be more to do with the Bleeding Tide business side of it, while his might be more the esoteric knowledge, religious side of things.
Right.
But yeah, I think Kelthorne first, then Maelthaz.
Yeah, the main concern is that if we run off the Driftwood Bay, Kelthorne has time to
I don't think we should leave
disappear or can advance whatever.
I definitely think we should do Kelthorne first. I just think after that, I think Maelthaz is probably the next best thing to do, personally.
Yep. I am going to Okay, so first place you guys are heading is we're gonna go to City Hall? Town Hall?
Yeah, assuming that's where we can find the investigator, unless
Yep.
Let's see. Have
these
an
are the
office
place of
somewhere
business.
else.
Right.
Town Hall. We're gonna hide Mr. Ambervale because he's not needed currently. And we can... That guy?
That's the guy.
That's the guy. That would be Mr. Ralden Voss. Your, and we'll see if, we'll say your discussion over breakfast took a little over an hour, and then you guys getting to the town hall where Voss is there. I would like everybody, I'm gonna go shift, we're gonna do shift. Why are you not letting me select multiple actors? Oh, because I'm not on the actor selection tab. How about that?
Oop.
I would like everybody to, there it is. Roll that perception check as you guys are walking through town.
Did you post
don't
one?
see
I
it.
don't think it came up.
Oh, yep, I see what I did. I clicked the wrong button. We'll do that again.
Pick two.
I made it a GM only roll, which I wasn't supposed to do. Let's try it that way.
A
Ugh.
And did Karnak roll?
Apparently not. I thought I clicked on it.
There we go.
That rock sees nothing.
That rock sees nothing. He sees the same amount that Effie does. Hans, Karnak, and Tian. What you guys notice as you're walking, come on. As you walk through town from the Velvet Lantern, which is in the Goldsway district, to the City Hall area, you notice that the air is thick with almost decay. The people are setting up this in the morning for, near the markets, near the Mist Market and the Hearth's Blessing in the Ashgate Market area. It's like the food stuff that they're putting out. It almost seems like it is rotting before your eyes. It doesn't seem like normal when you've been around the marketplaces in Mangagoy. That's what you notice on your way to City Hall. And then you do make it to City Hall, and Inspector Voss is there. Now that the riots and everything from yesterday are mostly quelled down, I haven't found anything directly linking to the individual that you asked me to look into yesterday. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I mean, we were mainly interested in following up on if you had found any more leads, but
We did.
given everything that happened.
I do know through the grapevine, I have heard that there is going to be some sort of meeting. They're calling it a summit at High Hold's Rise in 2 days.
Who's holding this meeting?
Sounds like Kelthorne is arranging it. Or actors working for Kelthorne. I don't know what this... I have no clue what the summit's about. It's not public, but we're hearing rumors of it. Started yesterday and heard more over the night. That is the only oddball thing that I've got besides this damn food spoilage that started to happen since yesterday.
Well, we did
What?
pull off a letter from an assassin to talk to us that from Kelthorne to the nameless. I don't know.
Assassin. He does.
We were attacked
He.
the other day. Yesterday.
That's worrisome news. Do you have any idea why you were attacked, or is this just follow up from your work in the sewers?
No, it's the letter says that stop the boy from delivering the scribe syllables to the Concord. We're not sure what exactly that means, but
Well, the Concord is used. Usually are considered a neutral arbitrators.
oh yeah,
About grievances.
yeah. I'm not sure what the scribe syllables was referring to.
Sounds like somebody has some information that Kelthorne does not want exposed.
Oh, we did just assume the boy was talking about Tian, but he could be talking about someone else.
And why would you consider that they were talking about Tian as he looks at you, Tian?
Oh, it may be because my, or other identity.
Now, somebody's shielding Kelthorne. I can see that. But again, the only lead I have in that direction at all is that this supposed summit happening in approximately 2 days.
Like we're gonna have a summit that we need to try to sneak into if we can figure out where it's at. It says High Hold Rise, but where is the question?
That would take some further investigation.
Yeah.
So what I do have set up for that, if that's the direction that the party wants to go, basically identifying where the summit is and or infiltrating it would take a series of skill challenges over the next 2 days to accomplish it. There are a total of 5 skill challenges. And each person would need to be the lead for one of the 5 throughout the 2 days. I'm going to put those in chat.
Would Effie be NPC'd for this?
I'm gonna. There's 6 of you, and if Effie wants to do one, if you want Effie to do one of the checks, I will roll for her.
Okay.
But since there's 5 of you here, I'd let you guys 5 play with that. But I will let Effie's still here. I'll let you do that. And this is a series of challenges over 1 to 2 days of game time. And when I said the word series, my phone thought I said Siri.
Naturally.
Yep. Over 1 to 2 days of game time as you guys are basically trying to figure out what Kelthorne is doing and see if there's any ties to what his ties are to actual Ambervale and those that are shielding his movement.
Gotcha.
No, I could do
God,
either.
unfortunately, these are some of our weaker skill areas.
I can do either society, stealth, or occultism. I have a +9 in all 3.
Okay. I think. Wait, who else? That's occultism. I think you'd probably be best off doing society or occultism. I think society or occultism. Yeah, I think Tian for stealth.
Let's see.
Yeah, we should just put what we can do.
We just check the
In
party.
chat.
Stealth. There's like 3 of us with a +9 for stealth, so Dealing or Effie can do that. Deception.
Effie is the only one who can do the deception, really.
Effie would do the only one there.
Okay.
Society. Does anybody else have society other than me?
I have a little bit of society, just a +5 though. Not
Yeah.
much.
Karnak and Effie both have a +5. Stealth is covered. Diplomacy would be Effie again.
I've got +7.
So it's not too bad. He'd do deception, you do the diplomacy probably.
Yeah.
And occultism, do we have anybody that can do that? I guess
I can.
second best.
Yeah.
I'll let that occultism be occultism, arcana, or religion.
Oh, well, maybe I should do the religion. but then there's no one to do the diplomacy.
So mine are all the same except for society. So I can do any of them except for society. It would come out to the same roll. Yeah.
Do we have to succeed on all of these or just a majority?
It'll be a majority, just like our other skill checks.
Okay. Then, I mean, I've got, in terms of religion, if we're allowed to religion, I have +12 to that, so I've got a way better chance of succeeding on the occult of the DC 22 with +12 than I do the DC 20 with +6.
Fortunately, that leaves us with diplomacy and with no one really to do it.
Yeah, diplomacy, the next best person will be Hans with a +4.
Same thing.
Right.
But I still feel like that might be better because I can. There's a good chance I succeed, and there's a potential, on the DC 22.
Well, then who's going to do the occultism? Well, that's the religion.
That's replacing the occultism with a religion. But then the diplomacy still got a 20% chance of passing with the +6, the +4 from Hans. But then we can have stronger stealth. You have stronger society, and then Effie's got stronger deception.
I could technically we only have 5 checks, so I feel like I could back.
Would Karnak be able to aid someone?
I was gonna say maybe I could aid like a society or a stealth.
Yes,
check.
I will let an aid go through on the 6th person. So
maybe
only got the stealth one really trained.
All society, but if stealth is the lowest DC, if Karnak aids on stealth to increase Tian's stealth, there's a chance that means we're more likely to succeed, and also a chance we crit succeed, which means 2 successes.
Karnak is trained in society, so he can.
Yeah, I was saying that as well. But I was thinking best to aid on the lower check, because then you increase. It's the one you'd want more chance of success or critical success on, maybe.
Okay, Batrock, what are you gonna do?
Society.
Okay. That is a 21. Effie is going to do deception. Hans.
Mhm.
I guess I'm doing diplomacy.
And Karnak.
I will aid a stealth check.
Kothar. Religion.
I will do religion.
And that is a high one. And that means Tian is doing the stealth check with aid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we roll Karnak's aid first?
Karnak,
That'd
go
be-
ahead and roll your aid. I'm going to put these checks into
Is that just a standard DC 15 for the aid check?
Yep, I'm going to put just
Are you gonna check something in chat, or are you
not
gonna
for
roll it?
not for the aid, but for the other ones I am going to.
We are a
Public?
very stealthy party comparatively. Aid's always public.
Okay. See how this goes. Oh,
Ooh, that's a success. So plus
Nice.
1 to Tian's stealth check.
Whoa,
Nice.
what did my screen just do? I'm going to
I
go
broke
ahead
it.
and put that. So Tian, when you click on your roll, go ahead and give yourself the +1.
Yep, I got it. Real? Okay, I'm gonna reroll that.
hey.
Right?
Hey.
Success. I'll roll my religion. That's pretty good.
Ooh, lots of successes.
That's
going
pretty good.
here.
And even
Aye.
with the +1, all successes, baby.
And only 1 hero point spent.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, that's
That's-
crazy.
pretty good because there was only one semi-normal DC check out of that, and that was the stealth. The rest were hard or higher
Yeah, no.
for your level, so that's pretty dang good. Again, this happened over a couple days, and we're gonna say that
Should we put the Mission Impossible theme on?
I wish I had that. So the you guys split up into small groups, some posing as emissaries, shipping inspectors, others tailing agents, people out of Kelthorne's estate and his businesses from Ashgate around to Highhold Rise. We are going to say that you are definitely successful. And with that, you get
$1 million.
the following information. Oh.
Wow.
And actually, that diplomacy check by Hans, he should have been rolling with a plus because of his pin.
Oh,
So you still succeeded, yep. The party maps out Kelthorne's active agent routes. You find proof of civic document tampering, and you uncover a list of encrypted noble correspondence scheduled to be delivered to the Gilded Parcel. And that is over the course of
2 days.
2 days. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to make it the 7th. Day 1. Day 2. The morning of the 7th. Basically what you guys are able to figure out, especially with those 5 successes, stop it.
Cooperate.
My dog.
Back at it again.
You have found information linking his estate staff to rerouted relic crates being shipped to places that they weren't originally supposed to go to. His name was actually present after you guys went to the Whisper Vault. His name was in the index of visiting the Whisper Vault. And he's got multiple agents in that area, still around that Beacon 4 that has been taken down. He's got agents watching that beacon for some reason. You find the following information specifically that you can give to Investigator Voss. You know where his agents are being shifted. You have proof of his manipulation of shipping records and falsified codex records. And you have some ideas of members of the Civic Watch and Civic Courts who are actually protecting him, covering for him.
We got another load here.
Yes, you did. With 5 successes like that, you were able to do that. And you do know with that, let me get to Mangagoy so I can actually tell you the exact location of where you guys are able to figure out where the shipment was. Where the summit is going to be.
Right.
And it's going to be later this evening on the 7th of Dawn March. Come on. I like having the ability to have multiple monitors, but it does slow some stuff down when I'm working on it. When I have multiple monitors open, especially when OBS is playing around there. I know I had more in that area. Yes, you are able to figure out where the summit is going to be held within High Hold Rise. So I'm going to say you head back to the City Hall if you want to make any discussions with Inspector Voss, or if you want to go to the Velvet Lantern. Which one?
I would say City Hall, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think we have any.
Do we know if we can
Fire
get
private.
the city's securities back up in terms of raiding this place? That is probably for the
There
best.
is I suppose there's some concern if we now know that he has members in the City Watch or Civic Corps, then we kind of run the risk of tipping off
Well,
that we're onto
we
him.
know some of them, maybe all if we're lucky, but the investigator we know is not part of that.
Right. The question is just if we bring in the City Watch as like a backup, then
He
one of
will
them
have
Maybe
to
not.
make a choice on that. He'll probably want to
Yeah.
go to apprehend the ones that we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we have names and specific,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. If
At
we have
least
that.
having some in the background, even if we're the ones to do the actual raiding, because
But I'm sure he has
They
some
probably-
people he could trust that he knows would not be bought,
Right, assemble a team.
and we could just keep it between. He can
crack
keep it.
team, the best of the best.
He should know
Old
which
cops
people
on the
that
force.
are not a chance of there, so we can keep it hopefully hidden that way,
Mhm.
or when everything gets revealed.
That's a hope, yeah.
At least you need to talk to him and see what he thinks.
I mean, if they're the best cops on the force, that's not saying much.
That is true. That is true.
Woof.
Best guards in the battalion, maybe. Guards always sounds better than cops, I find, in terms of Just an old guard with my old halberd at the door. Put the halberd over the door, say halt.
Oi, stop there.
Oi! Oi! Stop there, criminal scum. You violated the law. Pay your fine or serve your sentence.
There it is.
Not to do something.
Let's take a short break while you guys do any additional planning. I'm going to let my dogs out really quick,
Sure.
and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Hey. And gonna do this to see who's back.
Hello.
Oh, you guys are back. Back in town.
Okay.
Ordered my dinner, so it'll be ready when our session's over.
That's always good. Got me sober.
Okay. Oh. That would help. Let's close that one. Waiting on Tian in hall.
So after this conclave, this meeting thing, or is it that we probably go up to level 4 at that point?
Yeah, if you live,
I'm just curious how close we are.
you are close.
We're thinking about it. We're thinking about a level 4.
You're thinking about it. Yes, you are close to it. In game days, it's only been 2 days since you guys hit level 3, but as far as this is session 11. Yeah, we're close. Let me.
Level 4 is the part where I finally can start putting spells into my shooting. So
yeah,
yeah, that's fair.
It will make stuff a lot easier for
my build comes alive at that point.
A lot of things. Yes, I understand that.
And I get magical crafting too.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh, we're still just waiting on Tian, and that's an important one I need to know.
I just have what is it, Mature Beastmaster Companion at level 4, which is very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yawn. So while we're waiting on Tian, I would like to know: are you guys going in? I heard some conversations about being able to get some guards or other people to watch your back. Investigator Boss could definitely supply a few trusted agents to assist with covering type actions, not necessarily direct up infiltration type actions.
Well, we were kind of wondering, is he going to be able to supply people for a mass arrest and the people attending this?
That would be if
Sufficient just cause.
If there is sufficient cause, and when we do some RPing once Tian is back, we can discuss that. Hey.
Okay.
Um,
I think we have enough to at least get them to arrest Kelthorne. Other people at the gathering may be different. Depends on who's attending it.
hey, come on, Dio. Oh. Close that one. Tian, are you there? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get going. So you said you were gonna ask about coverage for arrests. Bosco's.
We're gonna present our evidence first, so you can have all that.
Oh. Interesting. Document tampering. Paying off the courts and the city.
Yeah, lots of relics been rerouted.
Now I know what's happening with the City Watch. That name is gonna help immensely.
This should be enough for arrest, right?
The problem is a lot of this is all circumstantial at this point. It's enough to trigger further detailed undercover investigation. But if he were to outright implicate himself in this, that would be enough for arrest.
Okay, so we need to sneak into this meeting and hope we can get that happening there, and then
Kelthorne's shadow.
So
find my encounter.
We need some. I'm assuming we would need some of your agents to be witnesses if he incriminates himself at this meeting. Or would we be enough for testifying against him?
I can get one of my agents to work as a server there, just so that I have eyes present.
And that he'll be able to testify at any kind of courts.
But as well as calling in the agents for an actual arrest. He goes and opens a cabinet that's against the back wall. And he pulls out two.
All right. Sorry, I had to mute. What did we decide on doing?
Right now, he's talking about the arrest purposes. Do you have enough information? A lot of it's circumstantial. I'll let you guys discuss while I get the item created for you. Basically, he's saying that if you can get him to further implicate himself, that circumstantial evidence would become direct arrestable type information. This is an item, and we're going to call it equipment.
I wish Effie was here to be able to use their social skills to get him to incriminate himself.
We will do some potential rolls with that.
But I guess to incriminate himself, somebody would have to testify that he did, right?
Well, he's going to get one of the agents as a server in the place so they can be
Okay.
able to witness anything that goes down. So I would say first we sneak in to see what the meeting's all about. If he incriminates himself in the meeting, then that's great. We don't have to worry about anything. But if not, then we would have to find a way to get him to confess or gloat or attack us or whatever.
I mean, if we go in there and he's, I mean, if there are Bleeding Tide members or associates present here, do we have the authority to act on it? Because whatever this meeting is about, I doubt it can be for good. And if there is a danger present to it, I don't think we can just stand idly by.
Yeah, we don't know what this meeting will be about.
He goes, well, if the purpose is to take Kelthorne down, I can give you backup and cover for that. The Bleeding Tide, unless you come up with one of the known leaders, which I believe you've already taken most of them out.
We got almost all of them.
Yeah, because
there was one guy left.
The Ox is in jail.
The leader's dead.
Leaders, well,
several leaders are dead.
Yeah, several are dead.
Did anybody get away? I don't think they did.
Nope. Nobody got away. Away.
So
from down below. So you've taken out what is the known leadership of the Bleeding Tide.
But they seem to answer someone else, at least according to some of the
Yeah.
paperwork we got.
Voss says, let's focus on this falsifying of government records for now. If anything else comes up, we can take care of that in the future, but I don't want our focus to what shall I say, want us to be focused.
So we know that he rerouted some Emberheart relics crates. If those are actually on the premises of the meeting, that'd be enough proof.
That would be, as well as any verbal that comes out of his mouth.
Any kind of, yeah.
So when he comes back from the cabinet, he has 3 stones. They appear to be obsidian, that have some sort of gems that were embedded in them during some sort of creation or manufacturing process. All 3 gems are the same color. He describes their use. They're in your party sheet. You guys get 2 of them. He's going to keep one. These are Rocky Talkies. They let you communicate within a 3-mile range, as long as you are using those that have the paired matching colored crystals.
I'm not saying that's my favorite thing ever, but yeah.
So he's keeping one, then 2 of us will have one. Who wants
Yeah.
it?
Rocky Talkie.
I say, who would be the most one to be like scouting ahead? I feel maybe one for Karnak and then one for either Batroc or
Let's see who's
Batroc or Tian.
He's got the stealth.
Well, we have 3 guys that are tied on that, so
we do collectively have the stealth.
I mean, other than Hans, everybody's got trained in stealth.
Hans out here tripping over everything.
Stuff.
But yeah, I would think that Effie and Tian would probably, or Tian would be the ones that are more likely to go looking around. Batroc probably hang back with the group more.
Yeah. Well, if it's you need one person who's going to be with the group to hear the words, and another person with the thing to communicate back. So I feel like,
well,
and I say Effie isn't hit. Cause wait, is it 2 pairs or just what? Two rocks, so 1 pair.
There's 3 of them in total.
The
Is
other
that
guys
3
keeping
pairs
one.
or 3?
We're gonna get 2 of them,
Three-
and then
three
the sector will
rocks.
have 1.
Okay, so
And
we
Pair
have
and a half.
a walkie. Yeah, so we can talk to.
if we split the party between then I guess we have the 3 highest stealth ones. One of us can grab it, and then the rest will hang back with, and then the lesser stealthy guys can form another group, I guess.
Yeah, I think maybe.
We don't get too far away, but
It's a bit different now because we haven't got Effie here, but Effie is like our best talker, so I feel like we should have Effie. I think maybe in terms of, I think maybe Tian would be best right now in the scouting-esque position because he's the most athletic and acrobatic, so he can move around the environment well, and he can be sneaky, and he's got decent perception because monk. Emphasis on decent, but and then maybe either Karnak or myself maybe keep hold of the other one, but maybe
So it's like me, Effie, and Tian are about the same when it comes to being stealthy and acrobatic.
Yeah, but my thing is Effie can do more talky stuff. You can do more society occultism. Like you have brains. Brains may be needed.
And then if it requires breaking into things, me and Effie both are thievery stuff.
So the actual location is at a tavern / bar called the Dawnlight Parlor in Highhold Rise.
I was asking about that place, wasn't I?
So if it's in there, we might want to think about having someone that can blend in with the crowd instead of just stealthing it. Someone that can just look like they're part of the crowd and whatnot. One of the attendees or something. I don't know.
Depends on how open.
You guys know it is a private club. But from what you guys gathered, there are going to be all sorts of people attending this quote-unquote summit.
We know what type of people, like upper echelon? Or?
It's going to be some high-level business type people. You're getting the impression that you specifically heard word that Commander Ralvin Duskbane of the City Guard.
Is he one of the bribe people we know of?
No, he actually the words you heard when you were going around talking, when you guys were doing your skullduggery, trying to find information out. You overheard words from him to the effect that I've lost men to symbols, not blades. If Kelthorne's staging this, I want names now. It looks like he's going there to maybe confront Kelthorne.
Okay.
So maybe let him do the increment.
We could pretend to be an entourage. Maybe we pretend to be guards under his command or something. Get in there. I don't know.
We'd have to.
Or let him act as a distraction.
I think he might be able to get Kelthorne to do something incriminating, especially if he tries to shut him up and get rid of him.
I think we should probably talk with him at least if he's someone who's.
But do we
So you
know
can
we can
get-
trust him?
Well,
He seems
no,
to be
that's why
there
we go to,
wanting
that's why we
to
go to
go after
interrogate him about
Kelthorne.
it.
So
We can go
Yeah.
ask him.
what did we learn?
Try-
It'd be a hell of a long game if this is all.
Would Tian have spoken to him before?
You would recognize Dustbane, not directly. I would say that he has been present at Ambervale's house. Yes, I would say that, based off of what. Not, I wouldn't say close friends, but he is at that level of echelon in the civic status that he would be one of those that's on the automatic invites for any high echelon soiree or whatever. Yeah, we're gonna have little tea and crumpets, and he's on the invite list just because it would be good to invite them, not because he's a friend.
Okay.
I think maybe talk with him, see if see if he's on board, and for those of us that aren't as good liars, deceivers, or sneakies, we can use that as a way to be like, oh yes, we're new members of the guard, we're his entourage. That's why we're here.
You actually can use stealth to blend into the crowd and try to keep yourself unnoticed in the crowd.
It'd be hard for me to stay unnoticed. I'm a big red lizard.
I don't know how many orcs are operating in high society. Not exactly my forte. I don't exactly spend a lot of time eating fancy. Probably, but I don't spend a lot of time eating fancy caviar. I don't think I could hack it.
There's probably some orcs with fancy like golden engravings and stuff.
Well, you throw the hood up on the cloak and you stay in the shadowy areas and
Yeah, don't put me on the party floor. No dancing. That's all I ask.
stay in the dark corners. The question is, can we get into the place that is a private establishment?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, is it anybody's? Do they have to have a certain invitation to be able to get into this soiree?
From what you understand, they're going to let anybody in.
Certain rooms might be closed off for specific individuals. Though.
Probably be better to dress a little nicer. It is more of the upper classish that are attending this, is from what you gather.
Nice
Or you can dress in guard uniforms if that's the way you plan on going.
How much money do we have?
Depends on the person, probably.
Party. We have 500 gold pieces in coins.
Yeah.
Damn. I must have spent all my money.
Speaking of money, I do owe you guys money from what you guys did yesterday with the riots.
Cash money.
Actually 2 days ago now with the riots.
Right.
And it's in your party stash.
That was a lot.
Oh.
Just checking. You meant to put 750, right?
Yes, I did mean to put 750 in there.
Okay. Making sure it wasn't a typo.
No, it was not a typo. Basically, I'm yeah, it's 750. That's what I planned on.
Okay, so I guess we could use the divide thing to give everybody.
Well, we also have possible expenses for the mission before we divide it. Let's figure out if we're gonna.
Guys,
if
we all buy diplomat's charcuterie board and eat that, you get a +1 item bonus to diplomacy checks to make an impression and perception checks to sense motive for 24 hours.
I don't think that's going to help my +0.
Okay, maybe not you, but it can help me. So I'm gonna go buy. I might go buy a charcuterie board.
Insane.
It's a thing.
One taste of the highlight.
Hearty sausages and hard cheese, hot pepper cheese curds and smoked almonds. It's got the whole shebang.
Get some fine clothing so it can fit in a little better.
Isn't there a thing of clothing?
There is. I'm trying to find out. I got it.
Yeah, like a gold piece, a pop or something. I want to say I remember seeing like fine clothes.
The legacy one for fine. Oh wait.
Fine attire.
The legacy version of the high fashion says you get +9 bonus to make an impression on upper class folk while wearing it.
Well, there's also
wicked expensive.
But that's for the high fashion fine one.
It's just clothing fine. It's just
the other thing you might want to look at is a ring of discretion.
Ooh.
Oh yes, for those who want to hide stuff.
That will magically hide armor and sheathed weapons you're wearing, either by turning them invisible or creating illusion of something else. So it will conceal your weapons and armor. If you draw it, it then becomes obvious to anybody. But that's if you were wanting to try to hide anything. That
it's only 15 gold pieces each.
Yeah, I mean they're dirt cheap. And then
great.
And then that matched with whatever you can wear guards uniforms or fine clothing. Just need to let me know what you're doing.
Yeah. To be fair, I think the only person that I think Hans and Tian can get away with not having those because Hans does spells and Tian does fists.
Yeah, I have fine clothing, but it's also very immediately identifying clothing because it's
my family house.
Yeah.
I'm the guys you've been trying to kill for several weeks.
That's one way to draw attention, though.
I think maybe we should disguise you as a guard, make you look like a different bird.
Oh shit!
Make your feathers yellow and go as Big Bird.
Yeah.
No.
There's also the masquerade scarf to make the illusionary disguise on yourself.
That's true.
Do we have one of those or?
They're level 2 item.
Oh yeah, we can buy one.
It's viable.
30 gold.
Yeah.
What's the item called?
Masquerade scarf.
Oh, I do know what that is.
It's the new version of the Hat of Disguise.
Yeah. The lesser one's only level 2. The greater, which lasts longer, is not.
Level 7, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll cast first rank illusory disguise on you, which ends immediately if the scarf is removed. And you can make the scarf's appearance, alter the scarf's appearance, or make it invisible as part of the disguise, but it can still be felt.
So with illusory disguise, you can change your appearance of your clothing to and items.
Yep.
Too.
Same body shape, roughly similar height and weight.
So if we want to look different than ourselves, then the scarf is the better option. But if you just need to hide your equipment, the ring is a better option.
Or both.
Or, well, you can hide the.
Yeah, that's right. You can hide the weapons with that one too. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get the scarf because I think that's probably going to be better in the long run.
I'm gonna get the scarf because surprisingly I don't use weapons.
I mean, dude, but they know.
The scarf, I don't need to buy the fine clothing because I can just make myself look like I'm wearing fine clothing too.
I might go with the guard approach. Maybe me and you, Karnak, let's team up again. Predator handshake moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
We've got to go real in deep with this. We've got to spend the 2 days that we spent actually going to the Guard Academy, do the whole training. We basically reenact 21. We reenact 21 Jump Street essentially.
We're gonna lock in right now. We're doing it.
See,
my name is Jeff.
My name.
Yeah, Karnak's already worked with the guards throughout the last couple of years, so that'd be no issue with him.
So I went ahead and bought the scarf, so I'm going to use that.
Okay.
I mean, we could also spend some time buying. I guess would we have gotten the 750 gold at the end of the 2 days, or
that would have been given to you probably before you guys did your sneaking around investigations.
Okay.
I just bought it out of my own money that I have already, but because we can whatever you want to. I think we should just divide the 750 up right now, and then whatever you want to feel like you need to prepare for.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, the gold is ever so slightly imbalanced, in that I'm poor compared to the rest of you.
Yeah, I don't need money for much, to be fair. I guess I already have the hand wraps +1 striking.
There's lots of items that give pluses to your skills and stuff, or give you extra movement speeds and stuff like that that would work for your character. So
I'm gonna log in as FD on my streamer account, because if you do split gold, FE actually has to be logged in. So I'm doing that. Plus, that way I can do any rolls from that account.
Because I'm a little bit behind on gold, would I be able to have a little bit extra, if that is okay?
I'm fine with that. I mean, we can keep the math real simple and just give everybody 100 gold, maybe 150 or something for Kothar, and then just whatever's left over, keeping the party stash.
That
for the time being.
Yep, that would give you like 100 gold left in the stash.
I was gonna say, if I take 75 now, that puts me at just below 400, which is kind of closer to everyone else.
Yeah, but go ahead, take 75 now, and then we can split it.
Yeah. Batroc out here in the lead. The man's got, it's all what your intelligence does for you. You know how to invest in stock properly.
It was the magic pepper box and the holsters probably that really did.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
I forgot about those.
I got some magic items that work for me, so
I'll take. Yeah, those will do it. Those will do it.
And I'm
doing 80, and it's just over 400.
Plus, I have the striking rune on the gun, so
yeah,
yeah,
that's good. I think what I'll probably do, I'll probably buy a reinforcing rune for my shield, and then I also will. I think I'm going to buy that charcuterie board. If anyone else wants, a charcuterie board.
Okay, the gold has been distributed. You have 11 platinum, 2 gold, 5 silver each.
Did that automatically go into our inventories, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
They did. I did.
So we got a pile of platinum now.
Okay, really nice.
So Hans is going to get the masquerade scarf also, and dress like a noble or something.
Yeah, I'm going to probably go as like some kind of merchant or something.
Okay. Definitely easy to fit in with that.
Yeah, definitely taking the guard approach, but do I need to make any acquisitions for that, or am I just borrowing?
Nope. They'll give you guard stuff to wear.
Cool. Okay.
Looking through a few items right now, see if there's anything since we got more gold now. I can.
Yeah, some impromptu shopping here for sure.
Once you finalize what you're doing when you're going in to infiltrate this meeting, so like if you're going to go as a merchant with the masquerade, that I would like you to type that into chat. If you're going to, merchant masquerade, nobleman masquerade, or nobleman fine clothes, just type that into chat so I have a record of what each person is doing once you've got that kind of figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Just toss a guard.
What else should I buy? I could buy some scrolls. Scrolls might be good.
I will put all of this in my note.
Let me see about alchemical items that I can buy. Oh my god, I looked at consumables. It's all just food. Rather than anything useful.
Hey, the food is good. The food stuff, you can get laxative chocolate. For some reason. It's an item.
Tian only eats meat.
Okay.
It's a thing. There's cooperative waffles. Those are great.
Tian eats meat.
Mate.
Get the charcuterie board then.
Mm.
I could buy myself some glasses of sociability. It would make me look more sophisticated.
Thinking maybe a spell heart. I might get one of those.
Yeah. Well, actually, if I get the glasses of sociability, they have an ability where it lets you instantly remember the name of a creature you've met and exchange names. So, for all the times I forget the names of all the people we're meeting, I could just use those. And Jim has to tell me their name.
All right, I'm gonna buy some shade elixir.
Might be getting tattooed up here.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about getting the one that gives you the eye one that gives you the plus the perception.
Oh, Karnak, I know what we should do.
Uh-oh.
You and I should get unbreakable heart tattoos with each other. Gets you +1 item bonus to diplomacy checks, and when you get some real cool bonuses for it, man. All you have to do is we have to just declare our undying love for each other. That's it.
Wasn't expecting you to go there. I didn't see it coming.
No, that's a slow burn. We gotta wait a couple.
You gotta build up to that level of hubris.
A bit.
I'm assuming we're limited to level 3 items, or are we allowed to? What's the ceiling here?
4, level 4. After you're done, if you survive this wonderful event, you'll be level 5, which means you could. You'll be level 4, which means you could wear level 5. So currently, level 4 is going to be your max to imbue. Shortly, will be level 5.
Okay. I'm going to buy a diplomat's charcuterie board. Anyone else want one?
I'm okay.
Don't need one.
I'm still looking at potions to buy.
Charlatan's gloves might be useful. Gives you a +1.
Ooh, can I buy a bestial mutagen just in case?
So we're saying a bestial or a bistro mutagen?
Bestial mutagen.
Okay, I think a bistro mutagen would be funnier. It just makes you get a nice little restaurant.
Yeah, it polymorphs you into like a creature that has like a 2d8 unarmed attack.
Yeah, no,
and gives you a +2 to unarmed rolls. That would actually be hella nice in like a pinch.
Also, if you don't have one, a backfire mantle would be good to protect you from my splash damage.
Yeah. Well, there's also apparently a accessory rune you can get called the presentable rune, which goes to any visible article of clothing +1 item bonus to make an impression on those who'd be impressed by a particularly presentable outfit while wearing this garment. It's only 50 gold pieces.
Oh my god! I just saw the trans elixir, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think there's one that's like instant, and there's another one which is like progress. They got some funky options. Go Paizo. What else is there? There's an unexceptional rune which helps you smuggle magical items to make them appear non-magical. Just makes something look boring.
The boring rune. Makes the thing you're holding boring.
Soft landing rune that you can apply to an umbrella to make you float.
Might grab a light barding for in there. A little bit of extra.
Ooh, I'll buy the Quicksilver mutagen as well. It's level 3 as well. All right, I now have plenty of potions that I probably won't use.
Oh, you have them, so
Mhm.
yeah, I'm gonna buy the barding.
Okay. And so I still need Kothar. Oh, yeah, I just need 2 more of you to type stuff into chat.
Yeah, I'm just about to finish up here.
I just cannot spell guard.
Okay, Kothar is a city guard.
City geared guard. Guild.
Yeah.
They type that in next to Kothar's name, city guard.
Let's see.
And I need to look at this really quick.
Yeah, Knight's Tabard, which if you gives it another thing that gives a +9 bonus to make the impression or creatures who have a positive association with the entity represented on the tabard. So I guess could get a Knight's Tabard of the city guard, maybe, if that would help sell it more.
Anything for the city guard, they're going to give you to wear. So
okay. No.
Effie already has the masquerade scarf. So Effie is going to be using that as a merchant along with Batrock.
And I'll make myself look like no weapons or anything, but they'll be hidden from the illusion.
Okay, so we got 2 nobles, 2 city guard, and 2 merchants that are going to go in here.
So a lot of other tools we can get. We can get a glass cutter, folding ladder, hollowed out hilt. You know. What else could we need?
There's a concealed sheath, I think, like hiding.
Snowshoes. Definitely will need snowshoes.
Yes.
A polar trout. Sorry, I'm just looking through all the items.
Okay.
Atmospheric breathing suit.
Flamethrower.
Waffle iron.
Walking cauldron.
Rubber mask. Actually, this might be one of those like eyes wide shut parties where we'll need masks and they'll do weird stuff. So maybe we need those.
Are you projecting?
No.
Sorry? Sorry?
Get the rubber mask. That's a plague mask.
That wasn't very convincing, no.
Kothar putting a human rubber mask over his face, but they just distend his face.
The rubber mask lets you impersonate, helps you impersonate.
Okay. Then let's get you guys there. We'll advance the clock to the night. You guys have everything you need?
Yeah, I'm browsing consumables at this
Yeah.
point. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm just gonna
go ahead and
there we go.
put that image up for now. As I'm gonna go ahead and I hate you. Yeah, something broke Simple Calendar. It keeps on giving me errors anytime I want to do anything with it. But that's okay. I will figure out a replacement for it. Hopefully. Get the time to where it should be.
Should I buy some handcuffs?
just before 7 o'clock at night. And you guys make your way to the I'll say the city guards do have handcuffs on them.
Okay, so we'll have some already.
You guys do make your way to the Dawn Light Parlor in the High Hold Rise. Are you guys going to go in all together? How are you going to break up? You do notice that there are multiple people going in and out. They don't have the guards there. They usually have bouncers in front that don't let anybody in unless you're on, quote unquote, the list. The bouncers are there, but it looks like they're not checking anybody off any list. They're just letting people go in as needed.
Sorry, did we establish whether the guard captain guy was gonna like let us the Heiding's guards come along with him?
Yes, he will let you go with him.
Okay.
All right. I think me and Effie, since we're both going as merchants, can go in together, and then the
Yeah, Hans can go in by himself.
go either separately or whatever, and then the guard will go in with the one guy.
Okay.
I think probably get you guys who are going under more like, I think nobles and merchants into let you guys dabble, and then we head in with the guard captain, because he's probably one going to cause more of a fuss.
Yeah,
we're gonna stand out, so probably not. Shouldn't have the rocky talkie either. Because it's gonna look weird if we suddenly produce a
who's
rocky
gonna
talkie.
hold those is the question.
Yeah. Probably the more sneaky people, I think.
So,
should we say one on Tian, one on Batroc for now?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Put one on me for now. Talkie. So if someone uses the walkie-talkie, will it be real loud or the people around you?
No. If you if it's in your pocket and Voss talks to you, it's gonna.
Oh, it's just the message, so that only you hear it.
Yeah, only you. But it comes through the rock. You talk into it, and you hold it up to listen. Old fashioned.
So you have to hold it up so people will see you talking into it.
Yeah, people will see you using it. Yes, it's not a stealthy type item, but it is a it's a communication device.
Yeah.
Long range. Well,
no speaker.
Longer than normal range type stuff. And as you guys, I just wanted to make sure I didn't have one of him yet. Make your way in there. It's, I swear, yep, I did. I need to change the name on the prototype token. I keep on forgetting to do that. Control V. Update token. You do notice that Kelthorne is out in front. For those of you that have not seen him before, which is everybody except for Tian, there's his full icky image.
He does produce the ick.
And
he do be looking evil.
People start to settle into seats. Again, it's a private parlor club type thing. There are basically a tables on the outer edges of the walls that have all sorts of liquors and other drinks available. Free of charge. People just pick them up. They go find a place to sit. You see Kelthorne walking around the room, addressing some of the people, not making eye contact with a lot of others. But as the time actually approaches 7 o'clock, he heads to the front of the room to make an address.
Oh, I will not be a hobgoblin for this. I'll just look like a human for this too.
Yeah, that's what he stands up in front of everybody. We stand on scorched marble and call it civic duty. The streets are bleeding arcane ash, and the ashen vanguard whispers of cults and echoes. But let us be honest. The real threat is the chaos of unregulated relics and the reckless authority of vigilance operating outside chartered dominion. He leans forward, resting his gloved hand on a bound ledger emblazoned with the seal of Mangagoy. Mangagoy must not become a city governed by sentiment and spectral justice. It must be held shaped and guided by those with the clarity and courage to act. And then he quiets down. He looks directly over to one of the groups of individuals that seem to be nodding along with him. The Emberborn League is willing to invest in stabilized leyline cores if we can just oust the temple's binding monopoly. The riots were a failure of their control, not of civic will. I have a name for the new zone of ordinance, Arion's Margin. A poetic boundary, don't you think? One the faithful wouldn't even realize that they've crossed. One of the individuals, you see wearing grayish robes. She speaks up. I agree. The past speaks too clearly now. If we ignore its echoes, Mangagoy will become another sealed tomb. You guys do anything as they're talking?
Not.
Are we get? Oh, sorry. Good.
Yeah. Roll up and start smacking heads. Like, what do you think you are? No.
I mean,
I'm assuming the
has
guard. Like, as the
guard
guard
guy entered in yet, or is he going to make a late entry?
He's you see a scowl on the guard captain's face as these conversations are going on. Go ahead.
When he's saying about this Orion's Marge, is he talking about from the sounds of it, I was getting more the impression he's talking about like a business, like is there like an economic restriction and like an opening of, the trade of artifacts and not having it just be controlled by the council or the church. But when he's talking about this Orion's Margin, is he talking about an actual like magical restriction thing or just a...
It sounds like he's trying to create an ordinance that would outlaw the churches from having anything to deal with relics.
Be a complete 180 on the current status quo.
Basically, taking the relics away from those that are currently controlling them.
Okay, not a fan, because I'm from the church and I want to keep my relics.
I
want these dirty commoners down. No.
Those that have...
Well, I'm not for the church and I want some relics to go.
Patrick switches sides. He's like, actually, I like this guy.
This guy's ambitious. I like him.
Those that have...
He's just a businessman doing business.
Spent any significant time in Mangagoy, which is most of you, you recognize the next one to speak. His name is Telman Kor. I will put that in chat for you. Control V.
Yeah, it's
He-
like if I didn't know what he was doing, but on the side behind the scenes, I'd probably be nodding along with this speech.
He is the magistrate of the civic wards. You hear him say, "Yeah, our beacons flicker. I don't care if it's Kelthorne or the church. You give me the power to restore them, or watch your souls burn next." So he sounds like he's not one way directly or the other, for or against. He just wants the power to restore the wards that protect the city. Then the captain, the commander, he actually speaks up. And he goes, 3 patrolmen, 1 scribinder, gone. Every trace ends near your grain warehouse and Emberwork. Explain that, Lord Kelthorne. Kelthorne sips calmly from the goblet in front of him. You'll need more than coincidence and smoke trails to tarnish my holdings, Commander. Civil unrest breeds chaos. Perhaps your guards wandered into the wrong fire. Wrong fire? The blood sigils on the alley wall say otherwise. So does the half-burned tabard recovered besides the ritual mark of Orcus. You're either blind or complicit or both. And you see Kelthor smile fade. Party gonna do anything?
I'd say something, but I'm not good with the charisma-based stuff, and I don't want to screw things up.
So are we sitting or are we standing?
So the guards are standing, probably one on each side of the commander. The merchants, you could be sitting or standing.
I'll probably be in the back corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew he had.
We knew
he had. Oh, sorry. Just a reminder: did we know he wasn't working for the Bleeding Tide, but he'd had meetings with them?
Doing
right.
business with them, at least.
Likely, I don't think we had any specific evidence, but if I had to guess the nature of the business, it would be to move those artifacts, to get them into into his warehouses.
There was some. He had some. Where was it? Let's see. He did. We know that they some of the smuggled goods stuff went to him or were from him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, hired swords. Where else is house? Kelthor, this ledger. It looks like. Well, the only thing on the ledger he says he other than bribing, he also 20 hired swords for dock protection.
Right.
He didn't buy any of the weird stuff like the House of Volmort did.
Okay, but he was still making deals with the Bleeding Tide.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I'm assuming like we're basically standing alongside the captain at this point, sort of. And I don't know if we're the only guards alongside or if he brought others with him.
He's got 2 others with him. There's 5 City Watch in total. You 2 plus the warden and his 2 other guards. Yep.
Yeah, so we're definitely like in the formation, as it were. I'm just doing a scan of the room. Like, could I get a sense of just how many armed guards are they positioning themselves? Is he about ready to draw a weapon? Like, just trying to get a sense of the level of danger.
He still has the silver goblet in his hand. There are, you can tell, definitely 3 brutish types that are near the front of the room that he's in. You can see some other people around that don't quite make out to be merchants or nobles.
Right.
Not a lot of movement right now. But you do see that there seems to be faction splitting within the room, where people are starting to separate themselves from other people. People are starting to get closer together with other people. seems like the room is
Reorganizing along their opinions.
yes.
With the idea that we so guards are not coming in, because we know that one of the servers here is a spy or is placed by the guards. Would we know which one that is?
No, you would not know necessarily which one it is.
Okay.
The warden would not have. The warden knows which one it is, but
yeah, yeah, because I was going to say before we go in here, I've got my charcuterie board activated. I just chowed down before we went in. Firstly, could I attempt to sense, just in this moment as discussion, sense motive to see if I can see which of the servers may be looking with like an expectation of, come on, say something, and like to try and get an idea of one that's latched on and if they're seeing this as the focal point in this moment.
I will, let me go here.
And then I think I'm going to try and say something, depending if it looks like they're like, oh, yes, go for it, or actually like, no, back down. This is going to go badly.
Yeah, go ahead and do a sense motive.
Gotcha. Should I just roll the check?
Yeah, I just rolled the check from the action macro. Yeah, you can definitely tell which server it is based off of that. His tray is empty, and now that you think about it, he's never had anything on his tray the entire time you've been in here. He does have himself kind of near the front, but not directly right in front. But he is close to the location.
Is he? Would you say, looking around, does he seem to give the impression of like this is probably the right time to go for this, or?
He doesn't seem to be going forward for action. He doesn't think there has been nothing really incriminating come out yet.
Okay.
At which time Kelthorne says, "Careful, Dustbane. Accusation without proof is treason in a city already fraying. Do you plan to burn every noble storehouse based on street chalk and fear? No, just the ones where guards vanish and cults rise. And you." He slams down a sealed report onto a table. "Your name threads through too many whispers. I want your stores searched now." Kelthorne stands slowly. "Search them and declare open war against House Kelthorne, but remember this. Sometimes the men who vanish aren't stolen. They're silenced by the ones meant to protect them." You all hear gasps throughout the chamber. All the other summit members start glancing to one another, unsure if they're witnessing a spark or the powder.
Could Kothar try and say something in this moment?
Sure, go ahead.
I'd like to attempt, I guess, with a small, because probably look to it within all the people we've seen throughout the room. Typically, with Make an Impression, you can attempt to target more creatures with a slight penalty, rather than just one by default. I'd like to try and look to maybe the 5 more influential people here, or those who've maybe been on the fence whether to support Kelthorne or not, or who might be leaning towards against him. And I'd like to try and with Make an Impression with my diplomacy, kind of reach out and say, "I understand doubting the churches. In this time of crisis, what has been done may not feel like enough. And these relics, these great ancient things that can spell disaster for all of us and can bring ruin to Mangagoy and beyond, they are frightening. And perhaps it is easier to think they should be entrusted to one without the baggage of dogma or ritual. But can a man like Kelthorne be trusted? Can one who would do business with those who would bleed our city dry, who would associate with fiends and unholy forces, truly be one exempt from such dogma? Or does he merely hide it behind the veneer of a simple businessman? This man here, whatever his intentions, whatever his reasoning, has done work alongside the foul ones who almost brought our city to ruin mere days ago. And he would do so again if it meant lining his pockets. So if you must look away from the churches for solace, then find it where you can. But not in the arms of this man. In the arms of one another.
I'd like you to roll that make an impression check.
Got your hero voice ready just in case?
Would I have the would I have the -2 penalty for targeting more than one creature?
Just roll the make an impression check. I'm gonna RP what's going on here.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. No hero points needed. I think that's pretty good.
You see a lot of the individuals look towards you, and start to nod in agreement with what you are saying. With that, Kelthorne slowly pushes his chair back a little bit, and he stands up slowly. He goes, since you're there as a guard, he goes, again, what proof? What knowledge? When he stands, the goblet's no longer in his hand. You see him playing with his cuffs on his sleeves. And you feel a pulse, all of you, go through the room. Any of you that was using any sort of illusionary magic, it dissipates.
Oh.
He points to you, Kothar. See? They have to have...
I'm not wearing any illusions.
You were... I thought you were...
I was dressed.
We're wearing...
I was wearing a natural guard uniform.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to back up on that. But you do feel the pulse. He looks around the room and goes... locks eyes with you, Tian.
Boy.
And goes, Tian, still looking for your father's parchment trail? Or is this your own crusade now? He adjusts the crystals in his cup, tapping it one more time. Tell me, when you read my letter, did you understand what I didn't write? And then he looks at the commander and says, so what are you going to do? Arrest me? And you see the guy with the silver tray guard set it down on a table. What's the party going to do now that you're no longer in disguise if you had an illusion? And it looks like he's prodding both Tian and the commander.
Do we have the documents on us that... I mean, he said he put down that
the ledger that mentions him from the Bloody Tide.
Yeah. Do we have the stuff on hand that is evidence?
It's you have what you have, yes. And it's, again, that's what Voss said was all circumstantial.
Yeah, there's no direct.
So you do have documents with you.
We need to. I think we need someone to try to get him to trick him into confessing something, but our person that would be best at that is not here.
So
yeah, I don't know.
You want FB to roll a diplomacy check?
I don't know if maybe. I mean, considering the time, would it maybe be best to pick up with this tense moment, or?
Actually, I want to just do one more thing, and that's because I have a perfect ending for this session, but we need to get to it quickly.
Okay. Maybe.
So what I'll say is that the commander says, well, you may be hiding in shadows, but the light will come upon you now. And you see the guard lift up a walkie-talkie and say, go. Then, and you start to hear running from outside as Kelthorne straightens slowly. You see his crimson sash slide from his shoulder like blood from a blade. His eyes scan the room, finally resting on Commander Dustbane. He speaks without raising his voice. Well, you've never known how deep the roots go, Ralvin. You never will. You guys see the runes on his cuffs start to flicker. Then the world shatters. A pulse, not a sound, not a light, but something deeper tears through the marble floor of the parlor. The setting sun through the stained glass windows fractures into blinding shards. Screams erupt. A summoned shadow veil surges from beneath the dais, blotting vision, silencing spells, and absorbing light. A flash of steel, not from Kelthorne, but his guards. From pillars and shadowed alcoves, bladed retainers emerge, masked and fast-moving, buying seconds with blades and distraction. One lunges at Dustbane, another hurls a glass orb against the hearth. It detonates in a cloud of numbing fog laced with shimmers, dream gas. Through the smoke, Kelthorne vanishes in the chaos, his form refracted in multiple directions by layered illusions sewn into his cloak. For a moment, 10 Kelthorns run at once, then none at all. A warded mirror shatters above the dais. Beneath, a half-hidden spiral stairway glows faintly, the parlor's original architecture, the nobility's private exits. Long thought sealed by age and disuse. By the time someone clears the haze, Lord Kelthorne is gone. His voice, however, remains echoing through the parlor's rafters. Find your truth in ashes. I have made mine in flame. What's left? A wounded guard, an exposed tunnel, and an urgent question. Who helped him escape? And that's where we'll begin the next session.
That was kind of a confession, I guess.
The three that were up near the stage are no longer there. The status that we are going to begin the next session is the City Watch is coming inside the room, and between you guys and the City Watch are basically able to stop any attacking that is going on. And anybody that was attacking, you guys have down on the floor alive. And you have a bunch of nobles, merchants, and other city folk stuck in this parlor room.